Welcome to the HIV Podcast. Each week we focus on a person, historical event or pop culture moment linked to HIV and explore the story of what actually happened. I'm Sarah.
And I'm Jess, and between us we've been working in the field of HIV for 40 years. Our aim is to get as many people as possible HIV educated.
Welcome to the HIV Podcast.
The greeting today of the HIV Podcast was brought to us by the lovely Adam. We actually mentioned Adam's dad last week.
Adam has got a good podcast voice, hasn't he?
Oh, we're in the office and we're having technical issues, aren't we, Sarah?
I know.
I don't know why we're freezing when we're 2 feet away from each other, but there we are, and the sound might sound a bit echoey, but we're in the office and we're here, guys. So
it is what it is, isn't it?
Yeah. We don't have time to make a blanket for. If only we did.
No.
Don't have those luxuries. Oh, and a big yawn. Brilliant. Oh no, the screen's frozen on you yawning.
Sorry.
Right, okay.
Oh, I don't understand why it's freezing. We're on the same internet.
I know. It's bizarre. I so much love other people doing our intro because we balls it up all the time that I'm going to open it out to the entire world, Sarah.
So what do they have to do? Just record themselves saying, welcome to the HIV podcast. Oh, they should probably introduce themselves, shouldn't they?
Well, they don't have to. I think they can just say, welcome to the HIV podcast. And then I will tell everybody, just like I did today, who it
they
is.
are.
Yeah. So if you want to
introduce,
they have to say. Yeah. If you want to introduce the podcast, send it over. Remember, don't do it on Instagram voice notes, though, because that literally deletes after 24 hours. So, don't do it on that. Do it. I'll put the phone number below. We'll put a thing on our Instagram about ways people can get involved with the podcast, Sarah, because that is number one.
Okay. Yes, and then people will see how hard it is. They think it's easy. It's not.
They can put their own little flair on it, can't they?
Oh, yes. Excellent. Okay, that's one job less for us. All we've got to do now is find someone to come up with all the content and someone to do all the editing, and we're pretty much free just to do the actual recording.
Perfect. That'd be great.
Right.
That'd be great. I'll leave that with you. Anyway, here we are, Sarah, at Friday, the 22nd of December. Are you excited?
My stocking is ready.
Oh, I thought you were going to say my stocking is full, but I like that it's ready. So have you hung it up?
Yes, I have. So I'm all ready to go.
Well, I am very excited about Christmas. I'm very excited for a little break. I just love Christmas. I love it.
I like having the time off.
Yeah. Oh, me too. Do you know how I'm kicking? Do you know how I'm kicking it all off, though? You're going to be I know you're going to say no, absolutely not. So with a group of friends of mine tonight, what I'm doing is we've hired a private sauna on a lake so that we can go swimming in the dark on the lake and get in the sauna and wear Christmas hats.
And that's how you're starting.
That's how I'm kicking off the festivities, baby, with some icy water.
Wow.
I know, it'll be refreshing if nothing else.
Well, I wish you well with that.
Right. Tell me about this special episode that we have today.
Special episode for you.
Okay, well, go on.
Yes, then. Come on, my little crisp-loving friend.
Yeah.
I thought we would indulge your passion for all things potatoey.
And it is a passion.
Yes.
Yes.
And it's only fair because we looked at chocolate and the links that chocolate has to HIV, and everyone knows I love chocolate. So it's your turn because you love crisps.
I love crisps so much. My actual favourite flavour ever are ones that you can't really get in the UK much anymore. So they're Walker's barbecue, right? And they come in a black bag. And you can get them in certain shops. And there's a little shop where my mum goes to her choir. And I literally the other day rang her up and I was like, Berners, if you are going near that shop, please get me 2 bags of that. Because I can't get it anywhere else. And it's like a tenner on Amazon. But they are my ultimate favourite flavour ever, Walker's barbecue.
Barbecue.
Oh, they're so good, Sarah.
Anyway, right. So I've done a lot of research, okay?
Thank you.
It was very, very thorough, as I am every week. But I was especially thorough this week because it's a special episode. And I wanted it to be good for you, of course. And what I have discovered is there are no links whatsoever between HIV and crisps. So there you go. That is the end of our episode. What are you getting Bernice for Christmas?
Oh, no. None at all.
Well, there's a very tenuous link which we can go with. So, the potato has in no way helped HIV science. But all is not lost, because I thought we'll just focus on someone who is strongly linked to crisps and very weakly linked to HIV.
Okay.
So if you're expecting a kind of strong HIV episode this week, it's not going to happen.
It's not the one for you.
No.
No.
Barely HIV related at all. But it's the end of the year, so come on.
Oh my God, get out of my head. I was about to say, it's like the end of term at school where you're barely doing a lesson. The teachers put the Jungle Book on, for you all to watch, and you're all in your mufti gear. So yeah, it's like that, isn't it? So
it is like that, yeah.
Yeah.
So, I've warned everyone now, they can carry on listening if they want, but there's very little HIV content.
I'm trapped here, though. I have to keep listening. I'm one half of this.
Yes, but you would want to, because it's your specially prepared episode.
Okay, yeah, that's true. Although you did say there wasn't very much content.
Let's see. So we're going to focus on someone who is strongly linked to crisps, Walker's Crisps, actually. And he is from the home of Walker's Crisps, Leicester. This week, we're looking at Gary Lineker.
Is that the home of Walker's Crisps, Leicester?
Yeah.
And Gary Lineker's from Leicester?
Yes.
Is that why they use him?
Yes.
Oh my God, you've blown my socks off and my mind.
Oh, well, there you go. It's all worth it for that, isn't it?
Oh, wow. Okay, so Gary Lineker, old Gaza. I like Gary Lineker. I like his politics.
I like him too. Zoe has helped with the research again this week.
Thank you, Zoe.
Thank you, Zoe, because you must by now be thinking, what's the point? There's nothing HIV related here. And I should stress, let's be very clear from the start, Gary Lineker is not HIV positive. Okay?
Noted.
But what I love about him, and I think you love this about him too, is he isn't afraid to support anyone he feels is being treated unfairly.
Absolutely.
Yeah, got a very strong moral compass, which is always refreshing for anybody in the celebrity world. And he does speak up on issues that don't affect him personally, because he can see the harm and the hardship that people are facing. You'll see where I'm going with this, because it's the only way I could link it.
Okay.
Right, now, anyone who hasn't heard of Gary Lineker, he's an England footballer. Do you know he's probably one of our best footballers?
I was going to say, a legend.
Beckham fans probably disagree, but...
Oh, but he's such a legend, isn't he? That whole era of him and Gaza and the World Cup and...
Yeah, it's still going to be controversial. People everywhere be like, no, Glenn Hoddle was the best footballer. Anyway, look, he's played for Leicester, he's played for Tottenham, played for Barcelona. He's a striker. Do we know what a striker is, Jess? Yes, we do.
The ones that score the goals.
Exactly, yes, like the goal shooter in netball.
Oh my God, I knew you were going to say that. We've worked together too long. I knew it.
He was England captain, and he is one of England's highest scorers.
Seriously?
Yeah, he's the only player to have been top goal scorer in England with 3 different clubs, Leicester, Everton and Tottenham Hotspur. He finished his career as England's second top international goal scorer. Who was the first?
Wayne Rooney?
I've got no idea, but it's not Wayne Rooney.
Oh, you looked at me like it was really obvious. And I panicked.
And he presents Match of the Day.
Yes.
And do you know what? He has never received a yellow or red card during his career. Never. You know what red and yellow cards are?
Yeah, no, I was just thinking about that whole era, like Vinnie Jones and old Thingy Razor Ruddock, where they were just like elbowing people. And I kind of liked all that.
Oh, it's way better than it is now, isn't it?
Very entertaining.
Just have to trip over a blade of grass now and someone will get a red card for it.
Yeah, because your household's quite football-y, isn't it? Mine's not. Yeah.
Yes. So my youngest son supports Leicester.
Has he had any input?
No.
Oh.
No. But he is a diehard Leicester fan. I don't know why. I don't know where it comes from. And then my other son is a Chelsea fan.
Okay.
As is my husband. And I support Tottenham. So it's an eclectic mix. Tottenham is doing way better than the other 2 teams at the moment.
Means nothing to me, but yay you.
Okay, Gary Lineker. He has appeared in TV commercials for Walker's Crisps.
Forever.
Okay. Yeah, not anymore though, but he used to, didn't he?
What are their adverts now?
Oh, I don't know.
I can't think of a single Walker's advert now. Maybe they just stopped doing them. When they said Gary's not in them, they were like, well, don't want to do them anymore then.
Probably because you're eating all the barbecue Walkers, you've boosted their profits to such a height, they don't need to advertise.
I wish I was eating all the barbecue Walkers, to be honest, Sarah. I can't get hold of them.
I'm sure Walkers will pick up on this today.
Well, they should. They should. Do you know what's really upsetting, right? And I know no one's going to think this is upsetting, but it is. Walkers have brought out some Marmite crisps. I haven't tried them. I like Marmite, but I don't think Marmite crisps are for me. And to be perfectly honest, Sarah, I find it extremely upsetting because they're in the exact same packaging as the barbecue. So every time I go down a shopping aisle, I'm going, oh my God, barbecue's back. No, it's not. It's just Marmite. Bring back barbecue Walkers.
Okay. So Gary Lineker.
Gary Lineker, HIV. Yep.
Yeah, Walkers. Strong links. So he signed a £200,000 deal in 1994. They temporarily named their salt and vinegar crisps after him. They called them Salt and Lineker.
I mean, that's a cracking pun, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. And in 2000, his adverts were ranked 9th in Channel 4's poll of the 100 greatest TV ads. I didn't think they were that good.
What was number one? Got to be the Tango advert.
Oh, I hope so. Oh, I don't know. Or I feel it might be that Cadbury caramel bunny that everyone rages on about, or the flake advert with the woman in the boat.
Do you think?
Don't know.
I think it'd be something funny.
Smash! The Smash advert where mash makes smash. No, when smash makes smash. Well, anyway, it's like I'm malfunctioning.
Oh, God. Are you okay?
No, but I love Smash. And do you remember the adverts with the robots?
Yes, I do. Yes.
Again, it's not linked to HIV, is it? Right. See if I can pull it together.
Okay.
So over the years, one area Gary Lineker is very outspoken on is the treatment of refugees and asylum seekers. Well, it says he's hosted asylum seekers. So in 2020, he hosted someone from Pakistan who stayed with him for 20 days while studying a law course. And he has also hosted a 26-year-old who had fled his home country after being caught up in a military coup. And then said he faced 18 months of hell in the UK asylum system. And he stayed with Gary for a month and he's now studying at university. So he's given him a helping hand to remain in the UK. So he's an all-round good egg on that front.
Yeah.
There was an article in the Independent in April 2015. It's about Nigel Farage.
Ugh.
They are talking about Nigel Farage's decision to use a TV debate to attack the number of foreign nationals receiving treatment of HIV. And it was attacked at the time for being deeply offensive by campaigners, including a Nigerian man whose life was being prolonged by the NHS. Aren't all our lives prolonged by the NHS? It's the point of them, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not really sure what they mean by that.
No. Anyway, this man was 40 years old, diagnosed with HIV in 2004, unable to access treatment in Nigeria for fear of being revealed to be a homosexual, and he was outed in 2007. He fled, he came to the UK. What Nigel Farage was talking about that made this man absolutely mad, he said his blood was boiling. So Nigel Farage claimed that of the 7,000 cases of HIV diagnosed every year, 60% were not British born. I don't think that stat's true anymore. I don't think it was true back then.
Well, we know, I mean, wasn't the Breaking Point advert, we know that's been sort of shown to be lies, wasn't it?
Mm.
So what else was?
Yeah. So, I mean, and at the time he was doing this, it was a political debate, all the leaders are there, he's doing this to gain media attention. And he does, you only have to mention HIV and the Daily Mail is all over it. Which is why Nigel Farage is an absolute national treasure. And I look forward to seeing what he comes up with over the next few weeks. Now he's out of the jungle.
Oh, I couldn't watch it. I was so upset he was in it.
So was I. And he's not a national treasure. He's just a massive greasy penis.
He is. He's the ultimate.
He is.
Hashtag GP.
Yeah. If you want to benchmark how to measure people you meet, about whether they are also greasy penises, use Nigel Farage as your starting point.
Yeah.
So anyway, all of this is kicking off. Daily Mail's going absolute bananas. Gary Lineker put something out on Twitter in response to Nigel Farage's comments. He tweets, always reluctant to offer a political view, but Farage is a dick. And that's why I love Gary Lineker.
Yeah. Yes.
Do you know, not everyone agreed though at the time. Rupert Murdoch gave his opinion also on Twitter, and he put UK debate, great performances by SNP Sturgeon and UKIP Farage.
Yeah, but I don't like Rupert Murdoch either.
Well, nor do I. I mean, I like the fact that he said Cameron was sort of okay, Clegg pathetic. It's quite personal, isn't it? Now, does all of this show Gary Lineker's support for people with HIV, or is it showing support for refugees and asylum seekers? And it just happens that HIV was mentioned in all of this because he's saying Nigel Farage is a dick because of his views on migration and health tourism. I like to think it's a bit of both.
Oh, I think it's a bit of both. We can't speak for him, but I would like, when I saw that happen, I like to think it's a bit of everything. Like you're saying, he has a really good moral compass.
Yeah. And he wrote a book. Well, I don't know if he wrote it or someone wrote it for him, but it was called Behind Closed Doors, Life, Laughs and Football. And in that book, he talks about how he had an HIV scare in the 80s.
Why didn't you lead with that?
Because there's no link to crisps with that, is there? I suppose Gary Lineker's linked to crisps.
Yeah.
I'm building up to it. Jess.
Making us wait, breadcrumbing us.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm drip feeding the information.
Yeah. Okay, my ears have perked up. Let's go.
We didn't have HIV, actually had hepatitis. So it was during the 1988 European Championships in Germany. He started to feel unwell and he couldn't work out why. He was feeling tired and ill. He basically put it down to a very long and tiring football season. But as the championship progressed, he started to feel worse, like really heavy limbed. He was losing weight and he started to wonder if he had AIDS. And he said in the book, this was during a period when AIDS was in the forefront of people's minds, all sorts of ridiculous and uninformed rumours about ways in which you could contract it. And what he did was kind of frighten himself into thinking that's why he was feeling so ill, which at the time, I think it would have been quite easy to do. Wasn't as much information to access as there is now. And also you can just overthink it, can't you?
Yeah, absolutely.
Anyway, he didn't have it. So, that is a bit of a non-story in the end. But the papers picked up on that. Out of the whole book, that is what the papers, I say papers, that's what the Daily Mail picked up on.
Of course it's the Daily Mail.
Yeah. Well, it came out the same time, a week after Gareth Thomas had revealed that he was HIV positive. So I guess that's why they zoned in on it.
Oh, I see. So they're sort of trying to not link them together, but another sports person's talking about HIV.
Imagine being Gary Lineker, all your achievements, all your footballing achievements, and that's what the paper.
Well, I was going to say, but imagine being Gareth Thomas and being like, are you guys, like, what the fuck are you doing over there? Like, hi, I'm just doing this enormously brave thing and talking about my status, but you're more bothered about old Lineker, where once 20 years ago he had an HIV scare.
I know.
Bizarre.
It's really bizarre, isn't it? And there would have been a lot more interesting stuff in the book. I mean, if you're a football fan, it's got to be a good read. But that's what they honed in on. There you are. So I think he does have empathy for those living with HIV because he did have a scare himself. I mean, it is a very weak link to HIV. There's no link at all to crisps. But as we've said, we're nearing Christmas. What more can I do?
I like that you tried, Sarah. I very much appreciate that you tried. And I got to talk about crisps for a while.
There's one more very weak link that I found.
Okay,
it's an article dated from April 2022. And it says scientists at Northwestern Medicine are using new advances in CRISPR gene editing technology to uncover new biology that could lead to longer lasting treatments and new therapeutic strategies for HIV.
I'm assuming that's not actual crisps.
We'll see. Scientists use the new CRISPR gene editing approach to identify human genes that were important for HIV infection in the blood, finding 86 genes that may play a role in the way HIV replicates and causes disease. Over 40 of them have never been looked at in the context of HIV infection. So what they're going to do is map them out. Oh, they all love mapping things out, don't they?
Yeah.
So they can understand how HIV integrates into our DNA and establishes a chronic infection. So actual crisps, hopeless, no benefit at all, but CRISPR, big potential. It's not linked to crisps at all. It's just got a similar name.
That is the weakest link ever.
So in summary, Jess, this episode has been a complete waste of everybody's time.
Yeah.
I am sorry. My sincere apologies to anyone who was listening, hoping for some insightful content.
Oh, do you know what? Actually, I'm going to stop you. I don't think it was that much of a waste of time because I genuinely have learned something about Gary Lineker.
Yeah, well, that's very true. So that's a small blessing, isn't it? Next week's episode is another Christmas episode.
More of the same.
We're going to look at the links between HIV and the Muppets Christmas Carol film. And why carol singers are 4 million times more likely to contract HIV from a hymn sheet. None of that's true, but if the Daily Mail want me to do any headlines, I'm here.
Wonder if there is a link between HIV and Muppets Christmas Carol. I mean, we're not doing that as an episode. That's not happening. That is absolutely, I mean, but you're not wrong. Next week's episode on the 29th, so it'll be after Christmas. We'll be all full with our, eating too much and all of that jazz. So luckily for everyone, again, it's not going to be another heavy episode. It's another light-hearted one. So we've got a little end of year special where we're just going to have a little look back over the year. So if you're looking, if you're sort of really wanting some very good HIV-related facts and content, maybe next week isn't the week for you either.
No, wait till the new year because it will get better.
Yeah, it will get better. But yeah, next week we're just looking back over the year. It's going to be nice. Come join us.
Do you know, I'm going to buy the Daily Mail every day because I think that carol singers contract HIV from hymn sheets might be a headline.
Do you reckon? Don't buy it, Sarah. Just look online. Don't give them your money. Don't help keep them going.
No, all right. I'll just snoop around newsagents.
There you go. You'll hang out at newsstands. Okay, well, have a wonderful, wonderful Christmas, Sarah. Merry Christmas, everyone.
Oh, yes. Merry Christmas. I hope you all have an amazing time.
Yeah, have an amazing time. And we will see you next week.
Thanks for listening to the HIV Podcast. If you enjoyed our podcast, please like, rate and subscribe wherever you listen to your podcasts.
You can now also follow us on Instagram and TikTok at the HIV Podcast for behind-the-scenes insights and video. The HIV Podcast is produced by Thames Valley Positive Support.